Okay, wanted to do this quick video that David requested on the Mortgage Jobs Network on podcasting. There were a few questions that came my way that maybe I can answer, and I'll try to do them as quickly as I can. So number one, let's talk about software and tools. I'm going to divide this into two main camps. Number one, it's kind of like the full auto camp. So a great platform if you're looking to start a podcast might be Anchor.fm. It's a free platform that allows you to really just, via a smartphone app, get right into it by either bringing on a guest or recording your own segments. They give you access to free background music, some basic editing tools, and one-click publishing and syndication to all of the major podcast networks like Apple Music, Spotify, I think even Amazon and Google Play Music, and more. So Anchor's a great piece of software if you want to just really get started quickly and this afternoon publish your first podcast. So that's the advantage. The disadvantage is that you are on that platform. So it's like the Hotel California. You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave because your data is all on Anchor. Your audience is all generated based on the feeds that Anchor is syndicating to different publishers. So, it's not something like you necessarily own all of your data. They also publish and insert ad units throughout your podcast. There are some monetization options, but remember, you got to be pretty big to start monetizing that podcast. So Anchor's a great piece of software if you want to just get started and get a podcast out this afternoon. You can do it. It's at Anchor.fm. Let's look at another camp. It's more of the DIY camp, and this is a little bit more where I fall in. You need a couple of things. You need a way to syndicate your podcast, and the syndication is typically done through a RSS feed. You have to submit that RSS feed to most of the networks that you want to be on. So for example, I have to have an account with Apple Podcasts and I submit my RSS feed there. I have an account with Spotify and I submit my RSS feed there. So it allows you to kind of pick and choose those networks, but there is a manual submission process to that. You can get your podcast syndicated very, very simply and easily by using something as basic as a WordPress blog, where you can publish your descriptions, link to your MP3 file, and syndicate it that way. There's an all-in-one plugin that does this for you called Blueberry. They also offer hosting as a way to get started within WordPress. So very important that you don't actually host your media files on your WordPress site, because remember, that MP3 is going to get pushed out to everyone that listens to it. It's going to eat your bandwidth, and some of your hosts may not. Most hosts are not going to like that. So in that case, what I do is I have a third-party audio host, and so the company that I use is just SoundCloud. So I have a SoundCloud Pro account, which costs me about $10 a month. It allows me to upload my podcasts there in MP3 format. And then I basically get the MP3 link, that feed link. I drop it into my post in WordPress, and it syndicates out that way. So it's another step, but here's the thing that I like about the DIY method. And principally, it's because I own that feed. If I want to move to a different audio host, let's say I don't want to use SoundCloud anymore, I can just update the links within my WordPress feed, and I maintain all of that syndication. I'm going to maintain all that data. So the DIY method is also a valid way to do it. So those are the two main kind of ways to get your podcast out. Really quick, last thing you can do in terms of how do you get that data in. You can do everything from recording live, which I love to do because you typically are going to get better sound quality. But I also have a client that I produce a podcast for that they basically connect via Zoom, and I record those audio files separately and the video. And the video gets pushed up to YouTube, and the audio files get pushed out as a podcast. So even using something as rudimentary as Zoom is okay. The audio quality kind of sucks, but remember, if the quality of the content is good, people are pretty forgiving. A third option that you can use is to use a free platform called Zencastr, which is a web-based piece of software where you can bring someone in very much like a Zoom meeting, but you're only recording that audio, and it records really high quality audio. So Zencastr is great if you are looking to kind of do those guest type podcasts, but just want to capture high quality audio. So again, lots of different ways to make this thing happen. I think the most important thing for you to take away with this, from this, is that you just got to get going. You know, I always tell the entrepreneurs that I work with, you got to be bad before you can be good. So the sooner you get out there and start pushing podcasts out, the sooner you're going to get done being bad, and the faster you're going to get to good. So if you want more information, or if I can help you in any way, don't hesitate to reach out. My email is below, and hope this helps.